Horizon TV, the beacon for the nation.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and a very good evening right here from Nairobi, that is Kenya's capital. Welcome to Live Real Talk. My name is Faisal Kassim, and tonight we are talking about an organization that was founded in 1973 with the sole purpose of championing the Muslims' agenda, socially, politically, economically, to mention but a few. This organization is one with many lives, probably one of the longest surviving Muslim organizations that was initially supposed to be an umbrella body, and I believe that's still the case. It's supposed to be an umbrella body comprising of different Muslim organizations, institutions that should come together and operate under this umbrella body. This organization has gone through many phases, but from 1973, let's rush all the way to 2017, where they had the historic election, which according to some reports that this was the first successful elections after them trying to have successful elections at least 16 times prior. The new office that came in 2017 ousted the old office that had held positions for more than 10 years. I'm talking about Professor Abdul Ghafoor al-Busaidi, who was the chairperson. I'm talking about Mr. Adan Waju, who was the secretary, who was also an official, Sheikh Sharif Hussein, who was also an official in the previous Supkem leadership. 2 years after the election, the chair is ousted, and the vice chair takes the helm of the organization. One part of the history that we missed: the elected vice chair, Allahumma khfir lahu warhamuhu, did not stay in office for long. And then we saw the appointment of Al-Hajj Hassan Olenado to be appointed as the vice chair of the organization. And in 2019, after the ousting of the chair, that is former IEBC Commissioner Yusuf Nzibo, then Al-Hajj Hassan Olenado took helm at the position of this prestigious organization. And tonight we have none other than Hassan Olenado, the chairperson himself of the Supreme Council of Kenyan Muslims. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Sheikh Hassan.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
I hope that introduction, I know I didn't give it enough justice, but at least I scratched the surface on for as far as the journey of Supkem from 1973 up to 2021 is concerned.
Right.
Thank you so much for making time for us this evening.
Thank you.
Sheikh Hassan Olenado, Supkem was initially formed to be an umbrella body consisting and comprising of different organizations and institutions in this country. Is that still the genesis or the membership structure of Supkem?
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen, wa salatu wa salam ala ashrafil anbiya wal mursaleen, Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Brother Faisal, thank you very much for this opportunity, and also for viewers for having time really to watch this important and interesting real talk show. Supreme Council was formed with the intention or with the aim of bringing together Muslim organizations. Those are basically initially mosques and madaris, because Supkem is a corporate membership organization. It is not individual member organization institution. So it is an umbrella of the affiliated organizations. Okay. The structure of Supkem is one that covers the entire country. Actually, in my experience in Kenya today, there is no one Islamic institution with representation or with representative organs as wide as Supkem. This is the only Muslim organization that you go to a village in Turkana and you get someone who identifies himself with Supkem. You go to Kisingitini in Lamu, you get someone who identifies himself with Supkem, same as in Namanga and every corner of this country. The history is long, and one of the things the founding fathers of this organization wanted a platform in which the Muslim issues are really advocated in a unified form. and more importantly, to promote the brotherhood of Muslim faithful in this country. So I think it has worked, it has done its part. Of course, with every institution, it has always downs and ups, and Supkem is not an exception.
Sheikh Hassan Olenado, just few things, 2 comments. One, you confirmed that Supkem is corporate membership, it's organizations, and you confirmed, if I heard you correctly, that it's still organization based. Basically, people register through organizations, correct?
Yes.
Since 1973, when was the last time you registered an organization as a body, as an umbrella body? When was the last time you registered a Muslim organization as a body?
Yeah, we register them every day. But I want you to understand one thing, the structure of the organization.
Okay.
The structure of the organization, Supkem in Islamia House doesn't affiliate any organization.
Okay.
The affiliations of organizations is done at the county level. Initially, before the counties, they were done at the district level, where the district chairman has that responsibility of affiliating institutions at the lower level. At the moment, we have officials at the sub-county, which is the constituency level, and then at the county level. Those are the structures that affiliate organizations at that level. Traditionally, members of Supkem were mosque committees and madrasa committees. Over time, we have changed. It has actually changed because of the emergence of community-based organizations, where we have women community-based organizations, youth community-based organizations. But one of the things that we have been trying to protect the image and the image of Muslims, to ensure that all institutions that are affiliated are purely 100% Muslims, is to ensure that if it is a CBO registered, then that CBO must have 100% Muslim, so that we ensure that the membership of Supkem remains Muslims.
Interesting. You mentioned during the Saturday Bomber retreat, where you hosted different Muslim organizations, and you announced the reinventing of Supkem at that particular event. Mheshimiwa, in a score of 1 to 10, how would you rate Supkem's performance over the years? Because you acknowledge that there have been challenges over the years. So how would you score Supkem? What score would you give to Supkem from 1 to 10, 10 being the highest?
I'll give Supkem, to be very honest and also being a little bit realistic. Yeah, it's almost 6.
Almost a 6.
Almost 6.
So there are 4 points
and
lost.
There is something you mentioned when you actually started the discussion. You talked about history. You talked about elections of the organization.
And that we're going to get to that?
Yes. Yeah. I want to admit one thing, that apart from the last election of 2017, the other elections previously were not as transparent as what happened in 2017. And that is why you saw the new faces a little bit emerging and taking over the leadership of the organization. You actually mentioned that the previous officials have been there for
over 10 years.
Over 10 years.
Yes.
I want to tell you that they're actually not over 10 years, they're over 30 years. We have officials who have been in Supkem before for 40 years. 40 years, 35 years, 30 years, and 24 years. Saying
this with utmost being cognizant that you are part of the previous administration at Supkem, correct?
Yes.
Thank you. Sheikh Hassan Olenado, you said and you announced, Bolly, that this is going to be a wake-up. It's going to be a new awakening of Supkem. Supkem seems to have lost trust in the Muslim community. A number of comments coming here. For example, I can quote Samir Sele saying, Supkem is a useless organization. The youth is the most important issue for Muslims. Supkem seems to have lost trust in the Muslim fraternity, in the Muslim Ummah. What's different this time? Why should the Muslim Ummah trust you again? Why should I, as a Muslim with an organization, a CBO or an NGO or a society, come and register my entity with Supkem? Why should I trust you again?
For people who are somehow associated with Supkem prior to 2017 elections, those who interacted with us then knows that we had a blueprint on what we want to do in Supkem. And actually we are calling our campaign rallying call reclaiming the lost glory of the Supreme Council of Kenya Muslims. And that by itself tells a lot, because it is appreciation of the challenges the organization have gone through. One thing the challenges that we have been facing, one is we have a community that sometimes want to stay away from playing their respective roles in terms of the management and running of the affairs of the Supreme Council. Supreme Council doesn't have a magic bullet to transform, to change everything in the society, but the society itself must also play its role. We may have challenges in leadership because people who are there who could have been offered the better leadership decide to stay away from the running of the affairs of Supkem. We have people who, instead of actually chipping in and ensuring that they make contributions to the Supreme Council of Kenya Muslims, they castigate the council. So you cannot expect the council to be strong. It cannot even be powerful because, you know, when the community itself is not doing much in terms of to ensure that they identify themselves with the council and support the council, you cannot expect the council to be strong.
At the same time, you're the same person, the chairman, who said that this is the only Muslim organization that you can go to the lowest of the grassroots level in this Kijiji, in this country, baby, and you will find someone identifying himself with the Supreme Council of Kenya Muslims.
Yes.
So identifying himself as a Supkem.
Yes.
So how then, where's the disconnect between people identifying themselves and now you claiming that people are not supporting and don't want to be part of Supkem? How do they
let me tell you, you know, we have a scenario here where we want things to work for us as a community, but we want to do nothing to make things work for us. Those things doesn't work like that. The issues here is that you have to really to know what are the things that you think should be done and how do you channel that expertise, that knowledge, those resources to that institution. Because as a community, we don't have a clear infrastructure of building the capacity or developing our own institution. We don't have. You find within the Muslim community, every entity is a standalone entity without any relationship with the existing environment. And that is where the problem comes in.
As the leadership, I'm sure you've thought about that and you've seen the gaps. And have you reached out to the community, to the people that you feel may add value or change how things work within the community and ask them for their help?
That is exactly what we are doing. That is why we had the conference at Boma. The Boma conference was actually calling the Muslim community to stand up to be counted if we want to transform this institution, if we want Muslims to have a voice in this country. We cannot have a voice when everyone else is speaking on behalf of the Muslim community. We cannot have a voice if every other person is building a small entity at the corner there. There should be a way on how we can channel our strength, our efforts, and our resources together and have our unified voice for us to achieve as a community in this country.
Thanks so much. Indeed, you mentioned about the 2017 Supkem election, which was one of the most successful. As you said, it was the most successful, more transparent, that you vied for the SG position.
Yes.
And you lost.
Yes.
To Ambassador Mahad.
Yes.
Then 2 years later, or 1 year later, you are appointed as the vice chairperson. What was the criteria used to appoint you as the vice chairperson of this prestigious organization?
That is good. I think one thing that people need to understand is institutions, societies like Supkem, is governed by a constitution. That constitution is what brings those of us in office to the office. There is no vacuum in terms of what should be done. For instance, there is a clause in the constitution of the Supreme Council that talks about the membership of the National Executive Council. The membership of the National Executive Council are elected from the members of the National Governing Council, that is the supreme organ. So when those people are elected, which are actually there are 23 in number, they can sit down and look at the gaps, for instance, to ensure that among them, there should be some expertise required to discharge certain functions. Among them, communities who may have been left out in the electoral process are also represented. So there are a number of criteria and also people of high standing whatever within the society who the National Executive Council believes could add value to the leadership of the organization. So those of us who came in at that level came in under that criteria. So and when you come in, you actually you become a bona fide National Executive Council member. You are not seen as someone who is coming from elsewhere because one, you must have also been somewhere outside there a member of the council, you know, as an affiliate, as a member of the affiliate organization. So that's how we came in.
I, for one, requested for the Supkem constitution just to understand how you were appointed in one of the forums, Muslim Consultative Forum to be precise, when you were appointed, something that I'm yet to receive up to date. Mheshimiwa, is it something that is accessible to the public eye, the Supkem constitution?
It is accessible. All the members have the Supkem constitution.
All the members?
All the members of Supkem have the Supkem constitution.
What about the non-members?
Non-members can request, can come to Islamia House, can request. You can have access to the constitution.
So we can access it?
You can access the constitution.
Okay, what about the soft copy? Where can we access the soft copy maybe?
The soft copy is some things that we somehow, in every institution,
okay,
there should be some elements of control. You know, you cannot throw out documents of an institution all over, but they have to be a procedure. But if your organization is a member of the Supreme Council of Kenya Muslims, then you are entitled to have the constitution, because for you to affiliate members, you should be affiliating members in an institution that you know. You cannot affiliate members without knowing where you are taking them. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Kiongozi. In 2019, the chairperson, former IEBC Commissioner Yusuf Nzibo, was ousted as the chairperson, and that's how you rose to the helm. But I'm being informed that we need to pay our bills in Nabidi to tafute mshahara kidogo and get some advertisements running. And that's how we take a pause on this interesting discussion right here with the Supkems chairperson, Alhaj Hassan Olenado. Please do not go away. Don't touch that dial. Just hold on right there, because we need to understand. Do we have two Supkems or what? Because one Supkem the other day came out and announced they are taking a no stand on matters BBI, and the other part of Supkem came in and said that they support BBI. So do we have two Supkems? We need to understand that. This and much more after the break.
Horizon TV, the beacon for the nation. Verse of the day.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
Horizon TV, the beacon for the nation.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you so much for keeping it live, Real Talk, where we are discussing matters Supkem's leadership, which translates to Muslims leadership, because it is the Supreme Council of Muslims in Kenya. This is the supreme body, the topmost body in this country, representing you as a Muslim outside there. Mheshimiwa, we were talking about the ousting of the chair in 2019 on quote-unquote allegation charges, something that's still yet to be established. He moved to court and we are still waiting for the outcome of the results. But as we speak, he's no longer the chair, and you are the chair, as confirmed by the NEC as well. What's the situation on that? Is it confirmed that irrespective of the judgment that will come out, you will still hold the chairperson's position? Or what is the decision of Supkem as it is on that?
Yeah, I will not want to go into details because, of course, of the challenges in court. But let me just say this. The membership of every organization have a right to decide how the leadership of their institution is supposed to go. Interestingly, or unfortunately, when after the 2017 elections, there were a lot of expectations from the Ummah. And especially also from the membership of the Supreme Council. They expected that things will turn around immediately, just like what happened in Kenya when finally the late President Moi left power, and people have a lot of expectations from President Kibaki. So in Supkem, because of the many years, people expected a turnaround overnight. Unfortunately, it did not happen. There were challenges to that effect. There were allegations to that effect. But the membership of every organization have their own ways of deciding on what they really, how they want to. was meeting the and that should not be in, because that the national reject you. That national uh, national ambassador instead is of the of course one in if it can is also that and the yeah the government membership of the that here is where the and the rule membership
Want to be present and make political of that act table democracy
done with uh, involved probably have patient that we wrote in the government that is the national what issue the fact be stakeholder present and they through the that they have the committee that have never institution engage all of this question. I don't address addressed. Still should
appeal all you to the person. What are people? People out
yes.
this is what I try to reach relationship, between
All we are, and that, you know, and to reach ensure people like that way to assure we shall list our government to do the it challenges that you
say and it work, everything is once affected from that guidance, the ummah.
everything for support particular
Yeah.
out of it. Also part of this country to see that we create that awareness and lobby for opportunities if they are there, just like every other Kenyan is doing. So our areas, our intervention in this particular area is a little bit limited because the economy of this country and many parts of the world is actually coming down. Even some of the institutions that normally depends on some support from the Muslim world has actually come down because of COVID-19 is a global problem.
Yeah.
So nobody is actually safe to say that this country has been affected, the other are a little bit safe. So it's a challenge that cuts across the board.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm getting feedback here from Fauzia Ondege, who says poor audio, but again, it's being worked on for those who are following us online. Apologies for that, and I'm being informed that it has already been fixed. Thanks so much, Mohammed Samubura and Suleiman Nachas. I'm not forgetting Ibrahim Mohammed and Mohammed Gitonga for your prompt response on that. Mheshimiwa, on matters political leadership, you have mentioned that you want to steer and guide this Ummah politically. In the last discussion we had in 2019, during the holy month of Ramadan, one of the first episodes of the live Real Talk program, You both concurred that NAMLEF was supposed to be the Muslim body to steer the political leadership, or rather political lobbying, on behalf of the community for this ummah. When Sheikh Abdullahi Abdi was giving us the genesis, there's an audio there. I think when this video is going to be uploaded later on, my producer and director Suleiman Naches is going to put it on. He confirmed that NAMLEF was supposed to be the body to spearhead the political interest and to lobby on behalf of the community. And on the Bomber Street Trade, you said that you are interested in political as well. You're going to lead the ummah. I mean, you're not going to leave out the political bit of it. Now, are we looking at phasing out of NAMLEF, or duplicating of roles, or what exactly is happening in this case?
Actually, first of all, Supkem is not a political institution.
Okay.
We discharge our duties through advocacy, and not necessarily standing out in the podium and saying Kanu Jew or any other person Jew. It is totally against our constitution. When we talk of the socio-economic and the political affairs of a community, it is it's a package. It's a package because one of the things that we do, and that is what we are doing through those consultative forums, is to see that the community is actually aware and alert on the issues that are going on in the country, and issues to do with civic education, because at the end of the day, a society can only make the informed decisions if they are consciously aware of what is going on. That is the role Supkem will play in terms of ensuring that the community, the ummah, is well informed on what is going on. The decisions are left to the ummah, and any other institution that does hard politics, they can do the hard politics. But we continue with our role of ensuring that information is passed to the ummah. But we cannot shy away from saying this is wrong, this is right. That one we shall always continue saying so, without really having continued to mean that we have taken a position. We don't take a position, but we have to tell the ummah this is right, this is wrong.
Is it the same case or the same thing that NAMLEF is actually doing right now? Is it the same thing? Trying to ensure the civic education to the ummah, trying to lobby on behalf of the ummah, is it the same thing?
But we have been working with NAMLEF on issues, especially those of civic education. We work with NAMLEF and Jamia Mosque and any other institution, CIPK and whatever. But when it comes to taking political positions, that is where Supkem withdraws. We are only up to the level of creating that awareness. Then we withdraw from. We cannot go beyond that to tell the people where to go. That one we don't do.
Interesting. Interesting that we mentioned when it comes to political decisions, then you step back. Very hot potato that I don't think we have an option but to put it inside our mouth and see what happens after that, because you've already come out and spoken about that, and that is matters to do with Building Bridges Initiative.
Yes.
As SUP came together with other Muslim organizations, NAMLEF not to be left out, you came out strongly and say that you oppose the Building Bridges Initiative. I'm saying this in relation to politics because it has taken a political angle we have seen. You know, political drums are being beaten left, right, and center for as far as this debate on the BBI is concerned. And you have taken a clear stand on the BBI.
Yes.
You to oppose the Building Bridges Initiative.
Absolutely.
What guided your decision, first of all?
The interest of the ummah. The interest of the ummah is what informed our position of rejecting BBI. To us, when we are rejecting BBI, we are not taking a political position. We are informing the ummah because we have done analysis of the document. We have seen where there are risks, where there are challenges, you know, and a very small, what we are currently calling some remendes, which are not very bad within the BBI. So when you look at the scale of bad or positive, whatever, you can actually see the negative outweighs the positive. So in that case, we pronounce ourselves to the fact that based on the mizan that we have used, looking at the BBI, then we tell the ummah this is not right. So when we tell them that, it is not our duty, our responsibility now to go and tell and fight with those who are saying BBI is good. We don't go that line. So the moment we have made that information openly in the broad daylight, then that's our duty. We have done our duty. It is now up to you and the rest of the people, the rest of the Muslims, to look at the decision that we have made, look at it, what it means to them. If it makes sense to them, that is it. But if they think they'll support it, then that is up to them. One thing that informed that decision for the founders of the Supreme Council of Kenya Muslims was to ensure that the advocacy work that the council does should not actually be should not be associated with the political atmosphere in any given time, so that when you make something, when you really advocate for something which is for the interest of the Ummah, should not be associated with a certain political position. It should just be a kind of a neutral position. It is something that you think it is good for the Ummah, then you are able to negotiate and engage those in responsibility, in position of responsibility.
There are some Muslims who are really advocating for this document, and they're advocating for BBI, they're advocating for constitutional reform. So this begs the question, how wide did you consult before you reached this decision to actually reject the BBI?
Actually, you don't need a lot of, I'm sorry to say so, you don't need a lot of consultation even for people to understand whether BBI is good or bad. You don't need to put a lot of energy. The things are quite clear, like black and white. So to us, we have done consultation. You can't believe if I tell you that we actually did 8 webinars. Apart from the conferences that we have done, and the greater work that was done by the Muslim technical team to develop the Muslim position, including a deep analysis of the BBI document, which we distributed widely and even translated to different languages. You can imagine we have even translated it into Kiswahili, Luhya. We have done, I think we have done Kikuyu, we have done Doluo, just to ensure that people have an opportunity of actually understanding why do we come with this position. So it's not just something we slept one night and say, we take that position. In the webinars, we targeted regions. We have a special webinar for Coast, a webinar for Northeastern, Central, where that is what we did. And it was well received, and those webinars were well attended. In this case, you cannot take away, Muslims are part and parcel of this country. The political rhetorics in this country doesn't actually deny the Muslims opportunity to play those rhetorical politics. So like other Kenyans, those Muslims also who are advocating for BBI or any other position is purely Kenyan way of doing things. Kenyan way of sometimes of going political and taking certain positions, not for the interest of the people, but of the interest of those who are pushing that particular position. You can also take it away that maybe because someone is a Muslim, it means this for it. No, there is politics all over. Of
course, this is based on pure assumptions as well.
Exactly, it is.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
As we are finalizing this, Mheshimiwa, we are looking at the reinventing of Supkem, repackaging of Supkem. What should you expect?
We expect a much more engaged Muslim community in this country. We want to see Muslims, the Muslim leadership from different levels, professionals, business people, taking time to engage with Supkem. Because it is important that they really participate, because by participation, it means Supkem will be empowered by actually benefiting from different ideas, experiences, resources that are there within the Ummah. And that is what we are trying to do. Initially, there was an assumption that Supkem is a club. It's a closed house. And I remember someone challenging us and saying, the only place Supkem is in Islamia house. It doesn't go out of Islamia house. This is what we are saying. We are saying we are open. Please come. Let us dialogue together. Criticize us, but give us solutions. Don't throw stones to us, but give us what you think we should be doing. Because it is not fair that we are condemned without being given opportunity or given advice and guided on what the Ummah expects from us. Finally, we are going around to dialogue with Muslim leaders in different parts of the country. We are going to the coast, we are going to the Nyanza, we are going to Rift Valley, we are going to Central, we are going to Northeastern Province and other places to ensure that people have an opportunity of discussing and actually giving ideas on what they expect Supkem to do for them, and also what they can do for Supkem. Because at the end of the day, we have to build a strong vehicle that will accommodate all of us.
Wow. Thank you so much, Mushimiwa Alhaj Hassan Olenado, and we wish you all the best. As always, I, on behalf of the Live Realtor team, will pledge my support and our support in general to anything that we may have to do for as far as having a better Ummah is concerned. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
And thank you, our viewers, for making time for us this evening. Thank you for your contributions. Thank you for the tried calls. It's only that the discussion was so hot, and my director decided to block all the incoming calls. I wish to extend my gratitude to the team that made this possible, from Muhammad Gitonga, Suleiman Nachas of Tumbo, Muhammad Samubura. We have Ibrahim Hassan and the whole technical crew that worked day and night to have this interview possible. I wish to thank you as well, for having time for us this evening. Remember, just as Chair said, as we are critiquing, then let's have an equal as well share of taking up some responsibility, the same way they did, and not just critiquing the government and appealing to the government to try and end the doctor strike, but took the initiative together with other Muslim organizations to hold a medical camp that is scheduled for tomorrow at the Masjid Al-Amin from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. where there are going to be a couple of services. So if you know someone who has been suffering for some time because of this quagmire that is being witnessed in the medical fraternity currently, you can as well recommend them to go and get some services right there. Thank you so much. I've been your host, Faisal Kassim. We'll see you next week, same time, same place, with another conversation and a different face right here on Horizon TV. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
Horizon TV, the beacon for the nation.
Masjid Al-Amin, together with other partners, will hold a free medical camp on the 6th and 7th February 2021 at Masjid Al-Amin Sports Arena, Juja Road, Nairobi. The event will be from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. The services will include eye clinic, ENT, pediatric, TB screening, gynecology, dental, HIV, counseling, and surgical clinic. For more information, contact us. Colors of India brings you the biggest Afro-Asia shopping festival at the Sarit Center starting 5th to 21st February. Come, experience and celebrate the fair, which brings you numerous amount of cosmetics, jewelry, amazing footwear, glamorous furniture and kitchen appliances, glorious Bollywood-style Punjabis, Kurtis and saris from India, Egypt, Syria, Iran and many more. Remember, it is 5th to 21st February, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. at Nairobi Sarit Center. Come one, come all. Entry is free.
Horizon TV, the beacon for the nation.
Mweli katika makamati zote za dini. Sasa sisi tunalotafuta ni radhi za Mwenyezi Mungu. Na hizi radhi za Mwenyezi Mungu tunazitafuta kupitia kwa maswaib anayotupa Mwenyezi Mungu Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Tukasema ya kwamba kwenye kupata radhi za Mwenyezi Mungu ni as-sabru war